Addiction can impact anyone, no matter their age or background. As you're seeing on your screen right now, it can shatter lives of many families, but there is help here in San Antonio. Joining us today with resources that offer a path toward healing and recovery are Rise Recovery CEO Evita Morin and Rise Recovery graduate Ryan York. Welcome, both of you. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
What an important place that you are running, that you are passionate about. It's very impactful, as we saw on your screens, that commercial that you were showing. It helps us understand a little bit about what Rise Recovery does. And for our audience who maybe missed it, can you tell us what it is exactly, how you help people on their path to recovery?
Absolutely. For most adults, addiction starts when they're teenagers. And so what we do is try and capture those kids, those teens that are in their young adults who are starting to experiment or struggle with substance use. And we support that entire family system through the steps to recovery.
Okay, and Ryan, you are a graduate of this program. How did you get involved? When was that moment for you that you said, enough, I need help?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. You know, it was through the help of my parents and my peers and the people who were really looking out for me. I went down a little bit of a dark path, and they gave me the resources possible. And one of the things about Rise Recovery that stood out is that it is a family program, and that really made a difference in my family's life.
Sure, because then you guys can do this together. You feel loved and supported in such a difficult time. I can only imagine. I know it's really important for you to tell parents in our audience and even kids who may be watching, what would you want them to know about drugs? I mean, we know they're a bad thing, but you are seeing the impact firsthand that they have when they are overused and inappropriately used.
Yes, and if I could just hype this man up a little bit. He is now a peer coach in our program. He's an employee. He's doing great work with other kids, helping bring them across the line.
Congratulations. I just met you about an hour ago, maybe less, but congratulations. You should be so proud of yourself.
Absolutely.
You did this, and now you're helping others right now here on Great Day SA.
Yes, and so, you know, as Halloween approaches, I feel like it's a great time to discuss some cautionary tales around substance use. The first being that substances compromise decision making, and they also impact the growing brain. And so for teenagers, when they are starting to experimenting is absolutely normal in teenage years, but experimenting with drugs or alcohol is not an ideal situation because it does create developmental delays in their brain that could impact them long term. And so having those conversations with your kids, especially before they go out to these parties on Halloween, hanging out with their friends, making sure they understand the impact, the long-term impact on their brain, on their body is really important. It's also important to understand that the drugs today are not the drugs that we may have been familiar with when we were young, when we were teenagers. They look a lot like prescription medications. They even sometimes come in prescription bottles, but they oftentimes are laced with deadly chemicals, deadly toxins, and can poison, overdose, and kill a child. And so we are seeing that more and more. Just because it looks safe, or even just because it smells good, it's colorful, do not take it. It is not safe. And so those are my cautionary tales.
It really is so important. People don't realize here in San Antonio how many kids have passed away from overuse of drugs or taking one pill thinking they're going to feel great. What would you want to tell someone? You coming from you, I feel like it definitely, I will pay attention to. I'm paying attention to you, absolutely. But as someone who's been there, what would be your message to other kids or teenagers?
Have the conversation while you can. It's very important to have that conversation. It's important to know, like, it doesn't only affect the mental state, it affects you emotionally and your social life as well, right? Like a lot of the time it's brought in by, you know, social media influence. So with social media influence comes this almost idea that drugs and alcohol are the way to be popular or the way to fit in, and for me that was the case. That's how I kind of started in it. You know, it really did lead me down a bad path. And so just have that conversation. Be honest with them and do it with love is the most important thing.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. God bless you. I'm super happy for you and your future ahead. How can people get help? How can they reach out to you guys?
So to reach out to us, you can find us at www.riserecovery.org. or our phone number that's on the screen, 210-227-2634. We also, if you come during daytime hours, Monday through Friday, we have access to free Narcan. It's a medicine that is an overdose prevention drug. I personally think, because we just don't know what our teenagers are doing as they experiment, it should be in every parent's medicine cabinet first aid kit.
Well, thank you for that. That is a great resource. You are a great resource in general. God bless you both, and thanks for being with us.